Hello everyone. Don't mind the noise outside. There's nothing I can do about it. Welcome to day 9. Day 9, 100 Days of Making Comics. My name is Jean. I'm making a little sci-fi adventure comic called Phosphor, and I have been making my way through my 50 pages worth of thumbnails and enlarging them into rough panels on half an A4 size in the shape of a little comic book. And I'd like to show you what's been happening because I've started to diverge. This is the fun part of doing a do-over. After having rewritten in the last 6 months and then doing the 50 pages of thumbnails just very fluently, just getting it out of my system because this is like the third or fourth time I rewrote the story. Now I find myself having these little happy accidents, and I just kind of want to show you what's been up. So here goes. Still here? Okay. So what's been happening is right here, like there's the part where I left yesterday, like the page I left on where I had those 4 panels that kind of show you one of the kids making off with the skull. What was originally supposed to happen is that following the lead of, breaking a piece of the skull, he smashes it to pieces. Not being the brightest, he just takes his hammer and just smashes it. And then reveals circuitry on the inside of the skull. But then what kind of just happened as I was drawing, I changed up the scene and he just grabs it, but walks off with it. And I thought oh, that's kind of an interesting development. Now I've got kind of a hook to keep you, instead of one reveal, the discovery of a skull and like the little speech and like there's chips in the mauler, then an immediate other reveal, next reveal. Instead, there's more of a hook to keep reading because he walks off with it. And then there's going to be more of a reveal. And then from there, I took us back upstairs to the upper management. And so there is, in my thumbnails, there's more of a scene like that, where the pilot and the captain are kind of working together as a team, like doing their thing. But because of this little, I have to show these characters all in one place, I've postponed that scene as well and just had them all had a meeting and then go straight to the captain. So now where I'm at is this new page right here where everyone goes about their business. Like I've shown all the upper management. The pilot gets to work, readies the vehicle, and they start moving. So now, do I want on the next page, do I already want to show the vehicle? Like, what am I going to do here? Or am I going to go back downstairs? Like, I kind of feel like this is I think this is page 14, and I kind of feel like this is like a perfect ending for like a mini chapter, Like, you gotten to know all these people, you got to see what they're doing, time to get moving, and then to just have like an outdoor shot of the vehicle moving here, which like a pin-up splash page would be perfect. But I'm kind of stuck with how I'm going to get back to that scene where he smashes the skull, runs off, and is shown the outdoors with a look, there's nowhere to go. Because if I show the vehicle here, then that surely has less impact. So I thought well, what if I just show the cockpit from the outside and then it moving by without showing the entire vehicle and the actual background? So that can still be a reveal later on. That could work. So I found myself using the cockpit window as a way to show movement without showing the whole vehicle. And then at the same time, I kind of figured I could show scale by having a ladder. Then when I finished drawing this, I thought like, well, this is kind of, it doesn't really feel, I mean, all of a sudden, like, I'm telling the story of this movement in like 3 panels, and they're small panels, so it's okay. But it kind of feels like, it kind of feels out of place with how I've been telling stories thus far. So I thought like, well, there needs to be something else. So I added a little guy over here, and then you can really see the scale by having these little people over here. So these are of course, the maintenance people getting to work, you know, so I can kind of show off what it is they do, even on a moving vehicle. So now I can still have my splash page, but I could show off them like on the side of a wall, for example. So I could do that. So I think I managed to save myself here. So I've got a nice little sequence here showing the movement of the vehicle, but not the whole. So I still get to keep that as a reveal. I've got these 2 maintenance people going on the outside. He is sweating. She's locking herself onto the side, which is going to save both their lives here because he slips. Now, this is kind of an important scene because in an earlier scene when they were doing maintenance, he was being really obnoxious to her, and this is going to be like their relationship in a nutshell, where she constantly saves his ass. Like she's constantly saving the day, and like she's constantly being bullied by him, and that's kind of his character, but she's actually the capable one who constantly, you know. So I'm having a bit of a double page here with like symmetry in the panels. So where here it's a ship moving, them locking themselves on, him slipping. Here it's the action scene of Cable is she's keeling over, but she's attached to that cable. He's swinging. She pulls him up. So same as over here where I have one image that I break up because then, you know, like there's a passage of time. Same here, like this is one image, but by breaking it up, it's like he's being reeled in, you know? And then as an idea for dialogue, like just another day on the job, you know? Like he's gonna, like he's freaking out, but he's gonna be cool about it because, you know, that's the kind of asshole he is. And she won't get to claim any credit or get any thank you. So then the next thing I want over here is them, like either I'm gonna cut to a different scene, or they're going to continue the job, like a big panel here, just like over here, where maybe there's a little bit of dialogue, like you could at least say thanks, or like something between the two to illustrate their relationship a little bit further, but also like why they're actually there is to do maintenance. So she discovers something, but then he's kind of like, I don't want to hear about rules and regulation right now. And then what she discovers is going to be linked to the sabotage that they discover further and further, which is part of the captain and the pilot's plan to make sure that no one can actually figure out where it is they're going, so that, you know, they can execute their plan in full view of everyone. If that sounds complicated, it's because, you know, there's a lot of story. If you haven't been following my channel and you don't know what the story is about, very quickly, Phosphor is all about, it's a science fiction adventure, if you will, a bit of a horror story. It's very much in the vein of Alien and The Thing, and it's about this scavenging crew on this large vessel that is looking to hit it big, but because they've been screwing up for so long, in order to do that, they need to break some rules, and they're under investigation. Like there's a lot of politics like on board that are already in these first few pages, you know, as they get themselves deeper and deeper into trouble. They do hit it big, but of course what they ultimately find is not quite the thing they were looking for. So that's kind of what it's about. But in the meantime, there's lots of adventures to be had on the ship. There's lots of people to get to know, because, you know, I need you to at least identify with some of them before I start killing them all off.